Okay, hello. We are starting a few minutes later than usual due to technical difficulties, which I believe better be resolved now. So, just checking a few last things before we get started here. Everything looks good. Okay. Yeah, for some reason, it had the, I don't know, the video didn't work right, published with last week's title, even though I changed it to a new title, so who knows. But we're back. Alright. Make sure everything's good before we head into one of the large turning points in the story of Final Fantasy IV. 2. Calling it 2. So, without much more preamble than that, because I think I talked about it enough last week, and I'm probably going to talk about it a lot this week, Friday, 2 days ago, I am going to get into this, and we are going to climb Mount Ordeals. So when we last left Cecil, he was accompanied by the 2 child wizards, Palom and Porom, and they are about to scale Mount Ordeals so that Cecil can redeem himself from being a dark knight and become a paladin. So I talked a little bit about how this kind of throws a wrench into the works of the theory that I had that being a dark knight does not make you inherently evil. And I'm still clinging to that, because up until this point, we've seen that dark knights just seem to be a feature of the Kingdom of Baron. They seem to be just what Baron uses, like they are a special, I don't know, warrior caste or something that are affiliated with the Kingdom of Baron. And no one in the Kingdom of Baron really sees Cecil as evil. And remember, the Kingdom of Baron itself is not evil. Like, its citizens are fine people, I'm sure. However, obviously the king and some of the upper levels of the government are currently in not such a good place. But that aside, that hasn't always been that way. And Cecil stated earlier in the game that he took up the dark sword to protect people, that he saw that as the duty of a dark knight. However, once he came here to the town of Messidia, and he starts talking to people here, and he talks to the elder of the village especially, there's very clearly a line between good and evil here, where the Dark Knight is classified as something that is evil. And the elder of the village has told Cecil that in order to relieve himself of this evil, to relieve himself of this Dark Knight business, job, career. My career is a Dark Knight. He is to go to Mount Ordeals and climb to the summit, where he will be judged by a quote-unquote holy light, and he will either become the legendary warrior of light, the Paladin, or he will not. And apparently other people have tried, and no one has ever come back from this alive. So, that is our mission today. We are going to climb Mount Ordeals and attempt to become the legendary warrior of light, the Paladin. Can we do it? Probably. One of the things that we did last week that took, 15-20 minutes or so, was we spent the time, and did I forget to... Wait a second, what do we have here? Did I lose it somewhere? I swear it was the first thing we bought. That's odd. Did I forget to buy it? I swear I bought it. Well, I was about to tell you that last time we played on Friday, one of the things that we did was we ran around and we got all of the pieces of the Paladin armor that we were going to need to go up the mountain. I don't know how I did it, but I must have missed a piece. That's odd. So if you look down here, I've got the helmet, the gauntlets, and the shield, but I'm missing the armor. The armor, which was the most expensive thing, too. I must have forgotten to get it. Okay, so before we go any further, I think it's worth our time to take a few minutes and to get that. Not how I wanted to start today off, but I think it is for the best. hopefully it'll go pretty quick. Well, we talked on Friday about how Cecil's current sword, the Black Sword, has the ability to instantly kill those large birds. It doesn't work on every enemy. I think every enemy it has a percentage chance, but it seems like on those birds, it's 100%. So we're going to just walk around here for a few minutes and get all the gold that we need in order to buy the Paladin armor, which we're going to need when we get to the summit. Spoiler alert. So, what else did I want to say about this? Yeah, so we're going to get that armor. Again, I think it's worth it to take the time to do a few random battles now, and it shouldn't take too long. Every time we run into one of those birds, it drops 700 gold for us, which is great. And these other little guys, they don't really drop much, 200. But again, it shouldn't take long. We've already got 3,000 now. Yeah, so we just need 5,000 more. And again, not the way I wanted to start this off. Thought I got it all out of the way on Friday, but apparently not. Fortunately, our wizards have learned a few things. So Palom here, you can see, is about to use Fire 2, which will vaporize these imps and make them not a problem for us anymore. So more like that. And that's part of why I think this will just, be pretty easy here to take care of in, I don't know, just a few minutes. No more than 10, I think. So we're going to go through here. Normally, I talked about on Friday as well that when I was playing this as a kid, what I would normally do is I would always forget that, I wouldn't forget that Cecil turned into a paladin, especially the first time, but because you don't know. But I didn't forget, it's just, it never crossed my mind to buy the armor until I needed it, like until he was a paladin. So I was used to coming down the mountain with Cecil as a paladin. Again, spoiler alert, that's going to happen. Oh, geez. So coming down the mountain with Cecil, and he's just in like leather robes and things. The Gaia robes if I have an extra one for him. But then at some point I thought, well, why don't I just buy the armor at the beginning? And then when he becomes the paladin, well, I'll just change him into that armor at the top. And I think it saves a lot of time, honestly. Because I don't have to worry about him dying all the way down the mountain. Alright, come on. So it always sucks when you get attacked from the rear because, well, not only do the enemies get their first attack, but your wizards all of a sudden are in front, and they're not supposed to be there. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. So we got a level, that's good. Oh, something else we talked about on Friday as well is that a kind person in the chat room here reminded me of is that Cecil loses all of his levels once we get to the top of the mountain, which, well, that sucks. Oh, again, look at that. Sorry, fortunately we have the Black Sword, which will take care of this thing really easily. Come on, Cecil. Come on, Cecil, there you go. Get him! Good job. Another 700. So like I said, yeah, this will only take a couple of minutes. We're already now at 5,800. Need to get to 8,000. Because that is the price of the Paladin armor. So yeah, while I was doing this I keep saying last week, on Friday when I was doing this, someone from the Free Enterprise community popped into chat, and we had a good conversation about FF4. And mostly the mechanics of it, because the mechanics are not something that I really know a lot of for this game. Oh, nice, the DS remake. Now, I played the DS remake, oh geez, it was probably like a decade ago now. And it was interesting because they restored a lot of the special abilities and things that the characters have in the Japanese version that were never present in the American version. So when I played it, all these characters had abilities that I'd never seen before. So Cecil has some kind of dark night attack, which you'll see his reflection do once we get to the top of the mountain. But it basically like shoots a beam of evil energy at the enemies, which is fine. Oh, I should have changed rows. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, and every character has something special, which is kind of cool. Whereas right now, a lot of the characters are either missing their special ability entirely, or it's completely nerfed, for lack of a better word. Rosa is a great example of this. So Rosa, in this version, has an ability called Aim, which I believe is supposed to, in the Japanese version, increase the accuracy of everyone in the party. And in the Japanese version, she also has an ability, I think, where she can heal a small portion of the hit points of all the characters in the party. But in this game, this version, no, it's completely taken out. And I'm not sure why that is. It may be because, like a lot of games that come from Japan to the US, they wanted to dumb it down in the beginning. Because, I mean, it's the whole reason Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is a thing. Square made that because they wanted to start selling RPGs to the Western market, and they just didn't think that they would sell. They didn't think people would understand how to play them, which is obviously, I don't know. I've got two minds on that one. The first is like, come on, like, just because we're dumb Americans doesn't mean we can't figure out your video game, okay? But then the other thought is, you know, Final Fantasy, the first one, was the first RPG that a lot of people played. And yeah, you had like Dragon Quest and stuff like that out there, Dragon Warrior in the United States. But, you know, and maybe that's a good question. Like, at the time, and again, this is 1991, were Western audiences too unfamiliar with the genre to really understand how to play them? And I don't know the answer to that question, because I know we had Ultima, I know we had other things like that, but I don't know how much of a wider market that games like that had. I really don't know. Be an interesting topic for a video, though, if my buddy Eternal Raven is watching. So, things to think on. So I use the inn here just because I am wanting to restore our magics to make this go faster. I figure the cost of 200 gold, while expensive, well, I think it's fine. It's fine. Gonna save real quick. Don't want to lose progress. So we're up to 62, 65, so not much more. A couple more of those big birds will do us, and then we can get moving up the mountain here. Nice. This is exactly what we need. So we're going to make Palom zap everybody, and we'll get Porom to do nothing. And we're going to get Cecil to murder the giant bird. Oh, didn't take them all out. I love that swoon. I wonder what the translation thought process was behind that one. Because obviously it's meant to be an instant kill, but for whatever reason they used swoon instead, which is such almost an archaic word. And it's interesting too because they use it in Final Fantasy VI. There's a scene where you have it's Edgar and Locke, and I remember they're in the desert, and I think they're with Terra, and they're just fought some Magitech armor, and Edgar and Locke start freaking out because Terra's used magic, and they're like, oh my god, she can fight, she used magic and all this stuff, and they start swooning, like actually swooning, like, oh my goodness, like, look at this girl, she's amazing. And, you know, Terra yells at them, stop swooning. And it's in, you know, it makes sense in that context, but in this context, where an instant kill here is a swoon, I don't know where that comes from. It's like Square having that family-friendly, oh no, kids are going to be playing this, we can't say that it just, you know, tore the soul out of this bird or something like that. Whatever the black sword actually does. Nice, I think this will do it. we got? 8,230. Oh, took one step, got in another battle. Ain't that life? That's life. Alright, so we have enough gold to buy the Paladin armor, spend the night at the inn, and then get over to Mount Ordeals. I also commented on Friday that the tiny mages, I'm wondering if they're just tiny people or if they are under some spell that makes them tiny. Because there is a spell in the game to make you small. So yeah, I wonder if they're under the effect of that or if they just happen to be small people. Think about that one. Alright, so here we are. Get over to the armor store. Get in. Hello, I need to buy some armor. That's right. Plate. And we go. So, just to make sure that this didn't magically escape from my inventory this time, yes, all 4 pieces are there. I think I was just having such a good time on Friday talking about game mechanics that I probably just forgot to buy it. I was like, oh, we're done. Good. Alright, so last trip to the inn here, and then we're going to get moving. I love the music for the mage villages in this and in FF6. They're kind of mysterious, but also like goofball music. I like that. Of course, FF6 does have its own dedicated goofball music. I'm not going to try and sing it, but, well, I'll point it out when we get there eventually. Okay. Oops. Did not mean to attack him with him. Oh well. No, I don't know why I'm doing just attacks. Like, oh goodness. Can you tell I'm not all here today? Not all here today. Went for a walk in the woods today. Went hiking. Not that you guys probably care, but hey, it's warming out. First time that I got some real sun in months. So we'll blame that. We'll blame it on the sun. Alright, Palom, get rid of these guys. I'm tired of looking at them. Burninated. Oh, nice, they gained a level. So, yeah, we spent a little extra time running around, getting money, buying that Paladin armor, but you know what? That's all going to come in handy when we start going up that mountain and Palom and Porom are not at level 1 anymore. I'm going to miss that black sword, though. That's pretty awesome. Chewing through those giant birds. Oh, my goodness. This is the most fights I've gotten in like this short a period in a while. And of course, it's because we're on our way to do something important. And we are going to do something important. The whole point of today is that Cecil is going to climb Mount Ordeals and attempt to rid himself of the dark knightness about him. So, we've talked before about what it means to be a dark knight, and the game is never really clear about it, because in Baron, it just seems to be a thing that people can do, of some warrior caste that they can sign up for. And it's not until we got to the village of Messaida here that we found out from the Elder that no, Dark Knight is an evil thing. Now, maybe that's their opinion, who knows? Because Cecil, obviously, is a good person at heart, although he's done some bad things. He regrets them. And so, I ask you, for someone who already regrets their bad actions that they've taken already, and has changed, what is the difference between being a Dark Knight and being a Paladin? If you're doing good either way, and you've learned from your past mistakes, why does it matter? And I think the thing that matters is that in this game, it's taken very literally, and that being a Dark Knight, you cannot use the Dark Sword to defeat evil. Because, you see me just click on Magic with Cecil? Jeez, oh man. Alright, so the question here is, what does it matter that he's called? And I'm going to go forth here and say that it doesn't actually matter, even in this game, what he's called or what his quote-unquote alignment is. It's something much more simple than that. It's the sword that he uses. Being a Dark Knight, he's not able to use the Sword of Light. And that is the thing that can defeat darkness. You cannot defeat darkness with the Dark Sword. Just like one of my favorite quotes from the movie Fifth Element. Evil begets evil, Mr. President. Shooting will only make it stronger. So Cecil, for practical purposes, has to become a paladin, in order to wield the Sword of Light and defeat evil. So that's how I see it. Alright, here we are, Mount Ordeals. And let me tell you, well, let's get through this first, and then I'll yap some more. Palom, take care of him. I don't even have to do anything more. Palom is just my guy here. Vaporizing everything in his path. Porom can do it too. She just does it with love. Palom does it with fire. I love the interaction between these two. She's always smacking him in the head here. Your turn, Palom. I know. You don't have to say that. Ice! 16-bit, my friends. 16-bit FMV. Can you imagine if that scene, if this was in like Final Fantasy VIII or something, it'd be fully rendered video of, and some, him posing dramatically and then casting this ice spell that, banishes the fire. Oh, amazing. Someone should make that. Piece of cake. Bam. Pow. Palom, our elder taught us not to submit to arrogance. I don't think Palom submitted to arrogance. I think he is arrogance. Oh, speaking of cutscenes, I completely forgot about this. Meanwhile... Clearly the bad guy hideout. Come, Millen. I forget what voice I was using for Golbez. So Millen is apparently so hideous and such a monster. He's the only one of the four fiends that is cloaked and hooded the entire time you see him as a sprite. Man, that is one ugly dude. Millen of Earth at your service. We must not leave Cecil alive. We'd better make a move against him. Fortunately, his dark sword is nothing to fear for your monsters. See? Being a paladin, again, I'm arguing here that it is a practical thing. I need the weapon that can defeat the bad guy. The one that I have, this sword, this sword is not going to do it. I need this sword. However, he is climbing Mount Ordeals now. Then he is to become a paladin. Your mission is to dispose of him beforehand. Yes, my master. Very well. Again, gotta give Golbez a little bit of the Darth Vader voice. Obviously, a lot of Star Wars, Final Fantasy crossover here and there. FF6 is the first introduction of Biggs and Wedge, although translation error, it was Vix and Wedge in FF6. Oops. Anyway. Things have become interesting, don't you think, Cain? Yes, but Cecil might prove quite a formidable opponent. I understand your respect for your former friend, but I sent Millen after him. Millen is one of my 4 fiends of the elements. He'll put on a good show. Don't you think, Rosa? Let me take the task of slaying him instead of Millen. How dare you ask for such a task? I've had enough of your blundering. You only have to watch this girl. Yes, Master.
Yes, Master. Yes, Master.
So the interesting thing here as well, we talk about the nature of evil and things, and keep in mind here that Cain is fully under the control of Golbez. We learn later on that it's some kind of mental link hypnosis that plays a large role in this story. But when we think of evil, and this is fresh in my mind because last night I just finished the Witcher 3 DLC Hearts of Stone. And the nature of evil is such to inflict suffering. So even here, even though Cain is fully under Golbez's control, Cain is still like, let me do it. He's my friend. Let me be the one to kill him. Because Cain's got some deep-seated jealousy that we're going to learn about later on. Even here, in this room, Golbez is torturing Cain. Cain has feelings for Rosa, but she is tied up here, and he's tasked Cain to do nothing more than watch over her. So Cain is like, I'm super jealous of Cecil because he's got Rosa, because he's got all these other things. She's right there, and I can't save her because I'm under Golbez's control. And so my task is to sit here guarding her to keep her from escaping or anything like that, and I'm being forced to play the bad guy to the girl that I'm in love with. That is Cain's predicament here, and it is malicious on Golbez's part. Cecil, watch out! Oh, so we have that very dark scene, and then the mountain music for FF4 kicks in, and it's very upbeat and happy, and it's scaling this mountain. It's such a split in tone there. All right, here we go. So, moving up. Got a long way to go. Cure 1, good. Little items along the way. Nice. Sometimes I think that they have those treasure chests lying around for the sole purpose of just making these areas longer. Like, Cure 1s are nothing to me at this point in the game. And to have me intentionally have to go and walk over to them just to walk back, I think it's just to pad this a bit. I was really surprised when we went up Mount Hobbs, which I remembered as being a really long sequence, and there were only like 3 screens or something like that. And one of those entire screens was for a save point that you wouldn't need otherwise. So, yeah, it's weird. So, Mount Ordeals, 3rd station. Get a load of that view. Beautiful. Beautiful 1991 16-bit. Okay, so this is a little tough here, because these guys are going to be weak against ice, these guys are going to be weak against fire, so I'm going to have Palom do ice to clear him out, and then Cecil is going to take care of the skeleton. Well, no, it's not doing a good job of that. Let's see if we can do this. No, I can't do that either. I gotta wait till Palom clears out the fire guys, then we can do something else. I want to see if the healing magic will hurt the skeletons like it will the zombies. Oh man, that was not as successful as I was hoping it would be. Alright, let's do it the hard way. Go get him. I must have missed it. Cecil got beat up right there somehow. He's missing about 100 hit points, and I don't know where they went. Oh, did he get hit by a fire spell? He must have gotten hit by a fire spell. So, we'll be alright. There's a save point before Millen. And if I'm remembering correctly, we're going to be joined by a special guest in a few moments, who will be with us for quite a while. What? Why does the skeleton know lightning magic? I've got no theories on that one. Ooh-wee. Alright. Oh, there he is. We all remember Tella from the Watery Pass and how he got us through there, and then once we got to the castle Dam Cyan, he left us, unfortunately. He left us in a rage, upset about this Golbez character. That was the first time, I believe, that we'd heard of Golbez. So he storms out of the castle and tries to locate Golbez to take revenge for the death of his daughter.
Cecil, you seek for Meteo as well?
He knows of Meteo. That means... Hey man, you are Tella, right? Palom's awesome. Watch your mouth. Call him Master Tella. We are honored to see you. We are ordered by our elder to spy on. Pow. Hem. We are to guide Cecil in Mount Ordeals. My name is Porom. And I'm Palom, so you are Tella. You're famous in Messidia, too.
Kids of Messidia. Very well. And Edward and Rydia?
We were attacked by Leviathan on our way to Baron.
Oh, no!
And Rosa was captured by Golbez. So Tella never actually met Rosa, but he knows of her. What, did he meet her? No, he didn't. But he knows of her because Cecil told him that he was trying to find the Sand Ruby to go help his friend. Yeah. That must be his girlfriend. Hush.
I cannot defeat Golbez with my spells alone. I have been seeking the magic of legend, Meteo. I felt a strong power from this mountain.
Meteo is too dangerous. You are too old. Oops.
Yes, I am old, but no matter the price, I must avenge my daughter.
Grown-ups, they like troubles. Be quiet, it's no place for kids.
Why did you come here, Cecil?
I came here to be a paladin. My dark sword cannot defeat Golbez. Who's Golbez? You don't know? He's controlling Baron.
Yes, he is the source of all evil.
No, he's not.
Paladin, there must be some secret hidden in this mountain. I will come with you. Sage Tella joined.
So let's take a look at what we've got here. Okay, so Tella's already in the back row, which is good. Let's take a look at his equipment. And he's actually decently equipped. He's got the Gaia robe. And I believe we're carrying, a leather helmet we can give him, which doesn't do much, but does a little bit. I don't think we have anything better than a staff for him, though, so that's okay. The thing about Tella at this point is he's still got only the same magic that he had when he left us. That's going to change. I just wanted to get through the door. So interestingly, at this point, Palom has better magic than Tella does, and so does Porom. At least more magic. I don't know about their stats. Tella may be more powerful than them. Just not know as much at this point. I don't remember. Attack. Yeah. Palom's my vaporizer at this point. Just burning everything in his path. Oh, so gentleman, or a person who was in the stream last week, told me that Berserk is pretty much one of the most overpowered abilities in this game. Not only does it take down the time needed for someone to perform an action because it doesn't rely on a human input, but Berserk also increases their attack power 1.5 times. So I'm thinking of testing that out. Not here, not today, but I will be testing it out at some point to see what that's like, because that sounds pretty cool to me. Oh my god. See, this is why it's so dangerous for your guys to be in the front row when they should be in the back row. She just took way, oh my god, taking way more damage than they need to be taking here. And I don't know what these things are weak to, so we're just gonna zap it. Oof. Nice. Yeah, lightning's pretty good in this game. It's pretty versatile. Not necessarily a lot of things are weak to it, but it's not on the fire-ice spectrum. So fire and ice are opposites, and I think lightning and water are opposites, but you don't get like an actual water spell in this game. I don't think that would come around until 8? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Moving on. Okay, so here we are at this... Palom, stop it! Not me. So I hit the D-pad because I was going to keep moving, but it said hiss. So I'm hearing weird hissing noises. That's not good. We'll use a tent here, just so we can be all healed up. That's pretty cool, camping on top of the mountain. Nice view. Just be careful in the dark if you're going to the bathroom. You don't want to walk off the cliff in the wrong direction. But I do really love the view from these mountains in this game. Like, it's so simple, but it's still really nice. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I didn't save, did I? Okay, we gotta go back and do that. Cecil's useless here, so he's just going to defend. Palom, my Burninator, take him out. Move over Trogdor. There's a new Burninator in town. Oh my god, I'm just going back to say, oh my god. That's unreasonable. Needs more burninating. There we go. It'll teach me to forget to save. Alright. Now, moving on. There it goes. It's not me. Hiss, hiss. Watch out. I feel something evil. I'm glad, glad indeed, to slay you all. Who is it? Well, hello. I am Golbez's fiend of earth, Millen. Now, meal time for my monsters. Okay. So Cecil's going to try hitting him. Nice. And I'm going to have the twins do their thing with their twin magic. And Tella, come on, man. You don't have much right now, but you work on doing your own burninating. Nice. So much for your monsters, man. Yeah, tell he's gonna get an upgrade too in a minute. Don't worry about him. Yep, let's try this. Because all Cecil's gonna do is attack anyway. Ooh. Yeah, this berserk thing may be a... Yeah, that may be a good call. Comet, always good.
Oh, my body. Oh, Shredder.
Well, there's some money and experience. Palom gains a level. Learned Virus. Porom gains a level. Learns Exit. Both handy. And now here's the thing. Didn't know this the first time I played it, but you don't have to keep going forward. I used a bunch of magic, right? So I'm just gonna turn right around, go back down the stairs, and go use a tent. Save. Go down here to the third save slot. I love this. You think you're in the clear, and then from behind.
Yes, well done. But my true strength lies in death, and with it I drag you all to abyss.
So I like this as well, that he is attacking you from behind, and so in the battle he's attacking from behind as well. Like that's well done. Alright, so Cecil's gonna be my guy to change rows. Oh, poisoned, great. I'm not gonna worry too much about that though. Alright, these two, I'm gonna have her use the Berserk on Cecil. Cecil, in the meantime, you know, I'm going to have him, well, do nothing, because he's... Did it work? Did it miss? It might have missed. So since I think it missed, I'm going to use Fire 2 here, and he is also going to use Fire. And then we'll see what Cecil does. If he doesn't do anything in a minute, I'm going to recast it on him. Yeah, let's try that. Hit. Interesting. I wonder if it's... Could it be just this battle that it won't work? Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Anyway, I noticed that Palom hit him with Fire 2 for like 800 damage or something. So I'm going to see if the Twin Magic does about the same or more. It's about the same. Must just be because they're such high levels that their individual spells are working fine right now. Okay, so we'll play this conventionally, and I'll lay off the Twin Magic since Flare is not doing anything more than Fire 2. So what's interesting here is that she doesn't have Heal yet. It's kind of odd to me. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time to see if it'll work. Yeah, it's not working. I don't know why. He has Heal. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever had them leveled up this much by the time I got up here. Wow. Yeah, Palom is just, wow. He's the new Burninator.
What? You beat me twice. Grr. Bah!
So if you listen really carefully, you heard it go, "Bah!" And then at the very end there's a little blink. Awesome. Okay, so now there are some standing stones here. Oh, we're poisoned, that's right. Annoying. So this is in the days before your status is healed after battles. So now to the standing stones. My son. Son? Who are you? Reminds me of the great line from Xenogears. Don't call me son, 'cause you sure ain't my pops. Something resembling a crystal chamber. Cecil takes a step forward.
I've been waiting. Sorrow fills me. I shall entrust you with my power, and grieve that no other way remains.
The sword descends, and he takes it in hand. His dark armor falls from him, and he is a changed person.
Part from your past. Conquer your darkness within. If you can't overcome your past self, the sacred power of light will not accept you.
And his dark side, his reflection, emerges from the mirrors. So this is very interesting because this plays into the entire theme of the game about mirrors. And again, this is especially in my mind because I just finished that Witcher 3 DLC, the Hearts of Stone. The mirror is a really important symbol throughout literature because in the mirror we see ourselves, and that goes a lot deeper than just seeing what's on the surface. Anytime you see a mirror in literature, it's usually used to describe a person either seeing themselves through someone else's eyes or seeing through themselves into what lies beneath their eyes, or beneath the physical. I don't know. So here you have Cecil's the literal evil part of Cecil, the dark part of Cecil, emerging from these mirrors to fight him. And this is a very interesting fight, which you'll see in a moment. But this game is relying heavily upon this imagery. And what's interesting to me is that this same imagery, the same kind of layout here, is present in each of the crystal rooms that we've seen so far, and is present in other places as well that we'll see later in the game. There's a couple reasons for that. Guess number one is that all of these crystal chambers and things, they all look the same because they're all from the same place. They're all from the moon. You can have an ancient aliens or an ancient astronaut thing here where the people from the moon, very literally, were coming down to the Earth, and they brought with them certain things of theirs to settle on the Earth and make it nice. So when you get to the moon, the chamber that you enter in the Crystal Palace looks it has the same architecture. So that's interesting as well. But the whole theme of this game is the darkness that we carry within ourselves. And here it is literally emerging from the mirrors to fight Cecil.
Cecil, Hey, dude! Watch out! No need to help. This is my own fight. I must defeat him to amend my past guilt. He pushes him back into the mirrors. Now, this fight, I'm doing nothing. That ability right there that he used in the Japanese version of the game, when you are the Dark Knight Cecil, you can use that ability. So what's interesting here is that it's set up as a fight, but you cannot win this. This is not a fight where you can defeat this Dark Knight version of yourself. And the reason for that is, it's about accepting the darkness within yourself. Justice is not the only right in this world. Someday you will see. Go, Cecil. And you win. By not trying to physically fight the darkness within himself, Cecil wins the battle. It's about understanding that we live together, every single person on the planet, with a light side and a dark side. Again, you can make parallels to Star Wars imagery there, but the important piece here is that, and obviously everyone's shades of gray, right? We're all on a spectrum of goodness and evilness. But it's a really good message in this game, I think, that is later echoed in Xenogears, that you have to live. You have to be able to live with your good side and your evil side, because everyone has one. And joining those two things together and letting them live with each other and breathe and work together instead of always being in conflict with one another, that's the way to living a good life. So understanding your darkness and being able to overcome it, but without obviously physically fighting it. And that's what this scene is showing here, which I find exceptionally interesting. Well done. Now I put my spirit into the power of light and trust it to your hands. Receive the last light left in me, my son. Stop, Golbez. Wait! So here Cecil becomes a paladin. But that's not all. Look at Tella. You all right? Right on! Hush! What is this I am feeling? It's so familiar. That voice. Oh my! Master Tella? Yes, I remember the spells. Tella recalled all the spells he had forgotten. Meteo, that light has bestowed upon me the greatest black magic. Again, this is interesting. Just like Rydia learning the ability to use fire, even though she was traumatized by it, that was an important part of the game, signaled by that little fanfare. Tella gets the same thing here for learning Meteo, not for remembering all the spells that he'd ever forgotten, but for Meteo especially. And that'll be important later on. Grand Master that he is. Hey, Porom. Cecil, to tell you the truth, we... Okay now, all's ready. Let's go and get Golbez. What are you doing, Cecil? We must go. Yeah. But that light, it called me my son.
wait a sec. And so the chance to divulge the reason that they're actually here to tell the truth has passed. Let us go, Cecil. Okay. One last look. So that's all well and good, but it raises a lot of questions. The light calls Cecil its son. We know, and you'll find this out later in the game as we play it if you haven't been through this before, but we know that the Lunarians have been coming to Earth for a very long time. But supposedly the last of them, no one knows what happened. This Mount Ordeals has been here for years. People have been struggling to become a Paladin, but were unsuccessful. Either killed by the monsters on the mountain, or somehow they weren't able to face the darkness within themselves and were killed by it. Or maybe, how about this? All those people who've come here in the past trying to become Paladins, who reached this point, were unable to defeat, to conquer, to live side by side and understand the darkness within themselves. What if in that confrontation, the darkness overwhelms them, and they are the monsters that are now all over this mountain? All those zombies and skeletons and things like that. Those are the people who are failed paladins, who couldn't overcome the darkness within themselves. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's take a look. Cecil unhelmeted here. Again, playing back to this theme of the true self. Up until now, we've never seen Cecil. Not he himself. He's always been in armor. There's even scenes, where you've cut scenes in Baron where he's in bed. Later, he's in bed at the inn in the village of Capo. He's wearing his armor. He's wearing his helmet. And obviously there's reasons for that as far as, development and just simplifying, certain production aspects of the game. But you never see him. Here, now that he has renounced the dark sword, now that he is a paladin, the helm comes off and you can see his face. So that's interesting, right? So that's theme. That is theme. The true self. So good. Anyway, we're gonna equip. Remember, we bought all of that fancy pants paladin armor, and this is the reason. Because stripped of his dark armor, unable to use it anymore, he's not wearing anything but cloth armor. Is presumably his gambeson or something like that, or maybe it's just a white, linen tunic, something like that. It's like knights in medieval times. Before the night before they were knighted, they would stand their vigil and stay up all night, in the church or whatever, and they would, think on the virtues of knighthood and what they were entering into. And they wouldn't do it in full armor. They would do it in just simple clothing to show humility. So, but now Cecil has become a knight. He has become a paladin, the warrior of light. He can now equip the paladin armor. And it is good armor. Look at that. Far beyond anything that we've had so far. And you can see that the sword he has is the legend sword. We are going to want to hang on to that. I'm pretty sure, it's got to be this one. It will come into play later on. Okay. So the other thing to check in on is Tella. Remember, he said that he had recalled all of the spells that he had forgotten. And take a look at that list. That is just impressive. So real quick, I'm going to sort these. Cure 4 especially. Oh man. Life changer right there. Got life 1, and let's put heal here and life 2. So those are really the ones that I use the most. Slow is sometimes useful. Fast is sometimes useful. And I don't think we're going to need wall or anything like that, but hey, they're there if we need it. Black magic, look at that list. That's nice. So I usually like to sort mine like this, where we have going across fire, ice, and lightning. Whoops, and yeah, let's do it this way. So fire is this column, ice is this column, lightning is this column. Where's ice 3? I really like the animation for ice 3. It's just giant icicles falling from the sky. Awesome. Meteo is down here, and I want you to pay attention to this one. Check out the needed MP is 99. Tella currently has 90 MP. He will never, ever gain more than 90. That's important for later on. So because Meteo is such a powerful spell, because it is such a turning point in this game, especially for him as a character, it's only used once. But we'll get there. Okay, so now we can leave. We've defeated Millen, the Fiend of Earth. We've defeated ourselves, which obviously is the most important battle. We've defeated all these monsters on the way up here. And again, I really like, although it's never stated, I like the theory here that all the monsters on this mountain, souls, ghouls, skeletons, they're all undead. I like it that, oh, Cecil, come on. Your first attack is a paladin and you miss? What are you doing? I'm gonna use this just to see it. I like that theory, that hypothesis, that these are all the people who've tried to become a paladin and failed. Tella, are you gonna get that thing? There we go. Thank you. Awesome. Cecil gained a level. Cecil gained a level. Learned sight. Cecil gained a level. Cecil gained a level. Cecil gained a level. How about that? So, yeah, he starts at level 1 again. And it makes sense in a way because he's a brand new person and all that. So he's going to gain a lot of levels very quickly on the way down the mountain here. I'm actually just going to have him block for now because he's really not needed here. We're going to have Porom attempt to heal these guys into death. And if that doesn't work, Palom is going to incinerate them. Got a couple. Not enough, but that's okay. There we go. Cecil gained a level. Cecil gained a level. Learned Peep. So for those of you Final Fantasy fans, you will know that Peep is scan in later games. You are peeping at an enemy's stats. That's all. That's what it means. Don't read too much into it. There we go. Coming down the mountain. Doing really good as far as random battles there. Let's see if our luck keeps up. Oh, there we go. Strike first. Okay. Palom, take care of it, man. At this point in the game, why do I need any other characters? They can all just hang out. Palom's got this. Almost there. Ooh, okay. So this is going to be a job for Tella. And I want him dropping giant chunks of ice on the enemies. So again, the thing about Tella is he's super powerful now. He's got every spell in the game except one, which we'll talk about later on. But because he's so low on MP, he can only use so many spells at a time before he needs to rest. Which I also like for reasons, right? He's an older guy, he's been around a long time, but he doesn't have the strength that he used to have in his youth. And so he's just not able, his body's not able to handle all these spells that he used to be able to cast. I like that. Palom, you try taking care of these guys. Some ice magic. Okay. Come around the mountain. Down and out. Nice. Okay, so one more quick little thing I'm going to do is... Oh my goodness. Swear to God. Oof. Man, he's weak right now. Remember when he had that dark sword and he was just murdering things left and right? Those days are gone for a few minutes here. He has got to get back up to his full strength. Because he's got great armor, he's got a great weapon, but he is still low level. Palom and Porom gained levels. Ooh, she learned heal, which is great. Alright, so we're going to come down here to the Chocobo Forest, or the Chocobo Forest, or the Kookaboo Forest, whichever you prefer. Just so we can do a little bit of healing here. Porom, if you please. Do another one of those. Could have just had Tella do a Cure 4, and that probably would have done it, but oh well. There we go. And we're going to talk to the White Chocobo. Come here. MP is restored. And why would I walk all the way back to Messidia when I can just talk to one of these guys? Easily one of the best parts of any Final Fantasy game is riding the Chocobo around. Chocobo, again, whatever you want to call it. I'm just exploring up here because I don't know if I've ever really been around up here. It's interesting, right? There's these land masses here. This one was used when we were sailing from Fable to Baron, and I think part of the reason that they're just here isn't just to be here, but it's used in, you know, certain cutscenes that you don't really see a lot of the terrain in. Like, they just need terrain on the screen, and so they use weird parts of the map that you don't ever really go to. So yeah, there's nothing around down here for us to go to right now. So we're gonna ride this awesome yellow bird back to Messidia. It's the only one for me. It's the RPG for me. Alright. And here we are. And that is where we are going to leave it for the night. I think that is a great stopping point. And yeah, I don't know if you caught that, but Cecil, he's level 10, everyone else is 20 or above. So that's why he's currently so weak. Let's see. Strength is 13, attack 45. Strength 12. What did I say his strength was? 13, yeah. So his strength score is less than both Palom and Porom right now. That'll change. It'll go up. But as for now, yeah, he's pretty weak, but he's getting there. Yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it for this evening. Thank you very much for joining me. and I look forward to you joining me next time. I am doing this every Friday from 8:30 to 9:30. I know we ran a little bit over tonight, but there are interesting things happening. So I'll be back again next Friday, and hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.